Alright, Shalom Muckins. It's your brother, but I don't want to come back here and hear another one. This is Spirit Power about Sham and Yahawashi. Alright, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and honor and glory be unto the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi. Double honors to those and apostles of the great millstone, rule and time in His truth. And sincere salutation be unto the brother preaching His word through truth and sincerity, risking life and freedom to do so. Alright, I'm the brother, but I don't want to come back here and hear another one. To be Spirit Power about Sham and Yahawashi. Okay, giving on honors, glories, and due diligence unto the Father and the Son. Okay, and today through the Spirit of Power, about Sham and Yahawashi, I just wanted to do this in transit. Basically a testimony, man. Okay, because something occurred to me, right? Something transpired, and it occurred to me that I kind of just feel like, oh man, let me make a lesson on it, But, basically, just to get to the video, man, I'm gonna hold you guys so I'll probably grab like a scripture or two. A lot of people are gonna come back into your life, man, okay? And not only that, people are always watching you, man, okay? What I mean by that is that, my testimony is that, I've been teaching the truth for a couple years now, man, okay? Going out and teaching. I've ran into countless people. I've ran into coworkers. I've ran into, mutuals where, I've known, like, the person knows me through somebody else. You know what I mean? And, yeah. All right. And, this testimony is about, a person that basically knows me through a mutual, okay? And apparently, dude seen me teaching, all right? Dude has seen me teaching, man, okay? And this is what we've been trying to tell you guys, man, because a lot of these people are going to come back into your life, okay? They're going to come back into your life, especially in the times we're in, all right? We've been telling you guys about the woman. This is a man, by the way, okay? This is a man. A lot of these people are going to come back into your life, and a lot of people are just watching you, man. You'll be surprised. A car might drive by. You don't know who it is. They might be in a car with somebody else, their car. You don't know, man. Okay, and that's why, I carry the mentality that someone's always watching, Impressions are everything, right? From dressing good to, basically, people are, you might be walking down the street, people are going to see you. Again, just because you didn't see them don't mean they didn't see you, okay? And vice versa. If you've seen them doesn't mean they didn't see you, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, people are going to see you, man. And people are going to come back into your life, women and men. Old friends, old girlfriends, whatever, man. They're gonna come back into your life, okay? Because we're getting into those times, And I was watching the brother's video. This happened about 2 to 3 days before. I was watching the brother. I think it was GMS Great Awakening. All right, no, it wasn't GMS Great. I think it was GMS Kansas City, man, Kansas City Province, okay? And the brother made a video because he ran into his ex-girl. You know what I'm saying? He ran into an ex-girl. She did him dirty, by the way, too. You know what I mean? She did him dirty. You know what I mean? So she did him dirty. Did him whatever. You guys can watch the video. It's a good video. And all that. Okay. And literally right after that, man, something similar happened to me because the dude, I ran into him a few times, had a conversation here and there, but it just gave me the impression it's like people are always watching. Okay. And on top of that, he told people that I teach the truth. Okay. So again, you're gonna have instances like that. You're gonna have instances of both situations. You're gonna have ex-girlfriends coming back. You're gonna have people that, I heard you teach the truth, which has happened. This is not the first time. This has happened before, because I've had coworkers, run into while I'm teaching. Old coworkers, they come in. We had a conversation. They were chill about it too. You know what I'm saying? Oh wow, you teach the Bible. You do this. Yeah, man. That's gonna happen in these later times, man. Okay, it's gonna happen more frequently. People are going to DM you, they're going to message you, personal message you, SMS, whatever. They might remember where you lived, might pop up. Okay? So people are going to come back into your life, man. And also, people are always watching you, man. Okay? People are always watching you. When I'm teaching out, I always, I'm observing, so I look like by the cars that pass by and all that. Okay? And I'm like, oh, okay, boom. Okay, that's that person. That's that person. Okay? I'm always watching too. You know what I'm saying? I'm always watching to see who's around and who passes by and whatnot. Okay? But yeah, man, dude basically seen me teach. And the guy that told me, we're just sitting there having a conversation, is like, oh yeah, so so and so, he said, oh yeah, he knows this person through you. And I'm like, oh okay, yeah, whatever. And then he just hits me with yeah, and he said he seen you teaching the Bible one time. Boom. Okay, and the dude that was telling me, he's into the Bible heavy. He's like a Christian or whatever. Okay, and the dude told me, he's like, oh yeah, we teach the Bible, and then boom, right there, we just got into a conversation about the Bible. I was like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Because these later times, man, I don't really care, man. If you see me teaching and you ask about it, I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, I teach Bible, I do this, I do that. I kept it brief. I gave him little breakdowns here and there too. You know what I'm saying? And he started inquiring. He's like, yo, like what's going on with the world and Is World War III gonna happen? He started asking me all these questions, man. Okay? So that's number one, or number three, is that the Lord's pouring the Spirit out onto people. So people are gonna start inquiring what's going on, guys. The Lord's pouring that Spirit out. So these people are gonna start to inquire about what is going on. Okay? And the Lord's gonna have it to where certain people are gonna cross your paths, and they're going to cleave to you because you can break down what's going on. Okay, Akims? That's what's going to happen. Okay, and this ain't really the first time, because this happened throughout I've been to truth, certain things like this has happened. Okay? Right? And, people, on their behalf, they've kept it discreet. They didn't go around, oh, he's teaching the Bible. They kept it to themselves. They kept it to themselves, and then they would come inquire to me here and there. Right? But this one was like the craziest one, because the dude would start asking about World War III. He started asking about the mark of the... He literally started asking about the mark of the beast, man. He started talking about who the real Jews are and stuff, man. Like, so there's going to be instances like that, man, where we're going to run into that, man. Okay, and it's going to be more often, Akims. I'm just using my testimony as an example, but you, Akims, you might have situations where an old girlfriend or an old friend might come back into your life, and they just want to rekindle a relationship, like as in like talking or catching up, and then you might start prophesying to them. And really, it wasn't even really my doing, because I was like, oh, this guy goes to where, he's going to ask him about the Bible, I ain't going to tell him nothing. But I ended up telling him. I ended up talking to him about it. I said, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell him. Because that's how I've been feeling, man. Even back in, because I was in the truth in high school. Even in high school, man, I didn't give a damn. People were asking, I told them. You know what I'm saying? I told them. I didn't give a shit. I've always been like that. I didn't really care. If you find out I'm teaching, you figure it out. I don't really care, man. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be like, yeah, I teach the Bible. And I told them, I'm like, yeah, I teach the Bible. I love the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling them everything. I'm like, I don't care. Okay? Because we're in those times, man. Like, I don't really give a damn no more. I'm not hiding nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't care, man. If you find me teaching the Bible and you ask about it, I'm going to tell you. And really, I'm getting the blood off. We're getting the blood off our hands, man. You know what I'm saying? We're getting the blood off our hands. So that's how you got to see it. That's how I've always seen it. I didn't where I can go back and go, oh yeah, I hid it from this person and that and da. No, man, I'm getting the blood off my hands. I told you, now that dude's marked. They're both marked, because even if people drive by and see you at camp, okay, they're marked. They're marked. We've always said this through the Spirit. Okay? They're marked, man. If they see you teach, even if they hear about the Hebrew Israelites, they're marked, man. They're marked. The blood is off our hands. That's the whole concept about us going out and teaching our kids. That's about the whole concept of us doing these breakdowns and doing these sit downs. We're getting the blood off our hands. We're utilizing our talents. Okay? Right? So that's why I never really cared. I never really cared to really hide the truth. I've told females that I've dealt with about the truth. I don't think it's optimal, you start talking to them and you just go out and start blurting it out. No. But like I said, if they find out and they inquire, oh, you teach about, okay, cool. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to get the blood off my hands right there and there. No problem. Blood's off my hands. You know what I'm saying? I never really cared. Now, do I tell every single time? No. But if the conversation arises, and so be it. You know what I mean? I didn't go out of my way to tell you. You found it, and the Lord gave you a way to acknowledge the truth, and me being a prophet, I'm going to tell you exactly like it is. All right? So I'm just going to grab a scripture or two. Okay? Because that's the Spirit, man. I'm telling you, man, the Lord poured the Spirit upon all these people, right? Because the book of Joel says He's going to pour the Spirit upon all flesh. So people are naturally going to inquire what's going on. They're going to be like, yo, there's so much talk of war. They're talking about putting the progma in people, like Mark of the Beast. Okay? They're going to inquire about, man, you're going to be surprised, man. That's all I got to say. You're going to be surprised. Okay? You're going to be surprised, man. Okay? You're going to be surprised. Alright? Okay, you're going to be surprised. Alright? Just give me a second, man. This data's so slow. Alright? Right? And that's basically what the interaction was. I started breaking it down, I started going in, and the dude even said, he was like, oh, if you do those can I come? Like, I was like, I didn't push it that far. I'm like, I was like, I gave him the runaround. Alright, but I marked him. You know what I'm saying? I don't care, man. Hey, that's how I've always been. If you find out that I teach, I'm going to tell you like it is, man. I ain't going to sugarcoat it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to sugarcoat nothing. I'm not sugarcoating nothing, man. Alright? Just give me a second. Data's loading. You know, and that's pretty much the interaction. Alright? It was beautiful because this is what we've been trying to tell you guys for the longest time. Alright? We've been trying to tell you guys this for the longest time, man. Okay? And more and more people are going to come and they're going to, because their lives are going to get ruined, man. They're going to lose their jobs. They're just going to naturally inquire about the word. I don't know why it's not loading. It's a lock. Right? They're going to naturally inquire about the word. They're going to naturally inquire about, World War III and all these things. Because they're going to be scared. Okay? They're going to be scared, man. It's safe, man. If I say loading. Alright? People are always watching you. That's why I'm out. Even when I started teaching at camp, I'm always looking. You know what I'm saying? Because then I know, I'm like, okay, he's seeing me. I never really cared, man. People see me, Alright? This is Acts chapter 2, verse 17. It says, and it shall come to pass in the last days, shall Yahawah pour His Spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and daughters shall prophesy. Okay? And, we don't know who's a part of the elect, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people gonna come in this thing late. Right? A lot of people are gonna come in this thing late, man. It's not up to us. It's not up to us, Hawkins. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna be the ones out here, you can't come to truth. That's not up to us. Alright, it's up to the Lord. We're just used as vessels, man. We're nothing. Okay, we're nothing. We're messengers and vessels. That's it. Okay? Alright? We're nothing. Right? We're not out here glorifying. That's why we're on these other camps. They're there trying to make it seem like they're glorifying themselves. They're making money off the truth. Man, you ain't supposed to be doing none of that, man. You're literally supposed to give the word. You got the word for free. Why are you charging people for breakdowns? Why are you charging people to get the word? That's off. That's off as shit. Okay? Yahawashi, okay? When the people at the temples, when they're making money, making merchandise and all that shit, okay? It was the same concept they were doing back then. They were trying to make money off the truth. They were trying to basically monopolize the truth. All down putting monetization on your videos on YouTube. You're not supposed to be doing that, man. The truth is for free. The truth is for free. You think in that time when judgment comes and people are like, yeah, I heard about the Israelites, but I was wanting to get into it, but the guy that I went to, he was church and breakdown. Like, what the freak? You're gonna be like, what the hell? Like, who are you trying to watch? You know what I'm saying? What cat were you trying to watch? What people were you trying to watch? You know what I mean? Alright? I say, and it says, and your young men shall see visions, and your visions. It says, and your old men shall dream dreams. Okay? That's what's gonna happen, man. Some people are gonna get visions and dreams, and they're gonna remember that, you might have, when you first came into the truth, you were talking about the Hebrews, like, they're gonna remember what you were saying, and they're gonna come back and talk to you. Okay? Or the Lord just might have it where it's a spirit that they run into. You know what I'm saying? It's a spirit that they run into, and you guys chop it up, and then boom, you start talking about the scriptures like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna happen. Okay? That's what's gonna happen, man. Okay? Right? We're in beautiful times, man. A lot of people gonna catch judgment. Okay? A lot of people are gonna catch that judgment, man. Okay, let's get Joel. Hopefully it loads. Joel chapter 2 and verse 28. It says, and it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour my spirit upon all flesh, that your sons and daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. Verse 29, it says, and upon all the servants, upon the handmaids, in those days will I pour my spirit. Even people that are not even close to the truth, man, they're going to get the truth. They're going to start seeing visions. The Lord's just going to pour it out. Don't be surprised if you start seeing more YouTube videos about people saying, oh, I had a dream, and America fell, and it was... And you're going to start seeing people make more videos about that, man. It's going to be so impactful upon their spirit that they're going to have no choice but to make a video. Alright? They ain't going to have no choice. They're just going to make the video. Verse 30, it says, and I will show wonders, and I'll show wonders in the heavens, which is the signs and the times, which is what we're in right now. Okay? And the moon, oh, it's locked in. Signs and times in the heavens, and in the earth, the blood and the fire and the pillars of smoke. Okay? Which is signs of what? War. Okay? And I was watching that movie last night. I was watching a movie. It says, we buried the dead. Okay? One of the scenes, the people are there on the mountain, and you can see the rest of the country. It's on fire. It's red, and there's smoke everywhere. Black smoke everywhere. That's how it's going to be in that day. Some place you're going to be trying to go through, and you can't get through because the clouds of smoke is so thick. You know, you might have forests burning, woods, okay, certain wild areas, right? Cars going to be on fire, houses going to be on fire, okay? All right? That's what's going to happen, guys. Okay? Verse 31, it says, and the sun and the moon shall be turned into darkness, okay? The Lord wasn't lying when he said the day of the Lord is darkness. Okay, that was physically and literally, man. It's going to be literally darkness, and it's a metaphor for you walking around, people are going to be in darkness. Okay, this place is going to look in darkness. Okay, everything's going to be darkness, man. Okay, right? It says, and before the terrible day of the Lord come. Okay, so before the terrible day of the Lord come, it's going to be darkness. It's going to be darkness, man. Okay? Verse 32, last one. So it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be delivered. Okay? Now that doesn't mean you just go, oh, Yahawashi, because you have to believe in the name. Okay? But like we said, we're in those last times, so a lot of people are going to come in, man. Okay? A lot of the elect going to see, because we've always said, people are going to have to see to believe. Some of the elect are going to have to see to believe. So the Lord going to show them, and they're going to pick up on the signs, man, because we're in those times, man. The signs and the times are at an all-time high. They're at an all-time high, so people are going to see what's going on, and they're going to come into the truth. Or they're going to inquire about the truth, and then that's when they come into the truth, man. Okay? Right? For the Mount Zion and Jerusalem shall be the deliverance, and the Lord thy power, the Lord hath said that in the raiment, whom shall the Lord call? Right? The raiment is the elect. The Lord's going to call that raiment, which is the elect. Okay? We're in the last days, Akim, so I thought I'll just share that testimony, man. Okay? A lot of people are going to come back into your life. And not only that, people are always watching. When you're out in camp, you can be in a secluded area. You never know who you're going to run into. It's just, like they say in the world. They say it's a small world. You don't know who you're going to run into, man. So always have that idea in your head. That's what the Lord said, stay sharp. Okay? You don't know what you're going to run into. You're going to have to break down some scriptures. You got to stay sharp, man. Listen to the videos. Keep teaching, man. Okay? Because we're in those times. Alright? So with that, man, I'm going to give my praise and glory to your Father and His Son, Yahawashi. Lord willing, you guys ratified through the Spirit, probably Yahawashi. Until next time, as an Akim, so I'm going to say Shalom. Okay? Until next time. Alright?